night, please.
Yeah, just
Don't
tonight.
want this to be the last
I'll
interview you've
I'll
ever
be
done.
fine. I don't want to die painfully. I just want to go when I'm in good shape.
Are you running, kiddo?
Yeah, I'm running. Just hoping the audio is going to come out, so let's check it right after we're done.
Okay.
I don't have a mic on anymore,
No,
so this one
we're
is the
fine.
one.
Okay.
Okay. We're here at Boston Comic Con for 5 minutes with someone awesome. The awesome person today, Billy West.
I can't talk for 5 minutes. I can talk for 3 hours if you want to.
We've got the video for it, so we can do that.
I got a mouth on me, you know.
Voice actor, that's always a good reason to have a mouth on you.
Well, it's the rewards of a misspent youth, whatever it is you want to call what I do. You know, I mean, I used to do voices and make noises when I was a child. I was like a little freak. And everybody was like, can you not do that? Can you not do this? And can you not? And it's like there was no way in the world that you could ever imagine making a living doing that. But guess what? We all grew up in an America that had no work for anybody who did everything that you were supposed to do.
Yeah, we basically got away with it, didn't we?
Well, but everything we learned in school, you were so ill prepared to face life in 2013, where they don't hire anybody over 40. And there's no business here anymore. It's all shipped overseas. No factories. The only thing we make is entertainment.
And we do that well.
We do it better than anybody. But it's also a recession-proof business. So the closer you get to that, the better of a shot you'll have at making some real money, because you won't get it here. You won't get it out in the real world.
What is the weirdest, most difficult voice you've ever had to do?
Oh.
And can you do a bit for us now?
It was, I did Popeye for a Fox project. And I used to listen to Tuvan singers, and they could split their voice. And you're familiar with them. They're from, Tuva, the country Tuva. And they're like cowboys, and they have a horse beat, you know, like a horse culture created. This was you riding in a cabin, a wagon, rather. And they used to rasp out and everything, and everybody could do Popeye, but nobody did it well when I was a kid. We all sucked at it. You know, you just couldn't figure out why it couldn't sound like the way it did. And I figured it out one day, and I started watching the Tuvans, and I said, that sounds like a wagon load of Popeyes. You know, because they were like going, and I said, that sounds like Popeye. And so it's a high voice and a low voice together. It's like,
Yoo-hoo, olive oil. I bring you some flowers.
And it's a low voice at the same time. An octave lower, like, yoo-hoo, olive oil, I bring you some flowers, in the laugh. And it was like when they're both together, it's like,
Yoo-hoo, olive oil. I bring you some flowers.
That's incredible. That's the weirdest way to ever... I've never seen that happen before.
I figured it out. You know, I don't know if Jack Mercer really did it that way. He probably didn't know what Tuvans were. He was just a guy that could do really cool stuff.
So, as you're coming up with new characters, as new characters get introduced for you to do voice work, is it difficult for you to differentiate, bring new voices in?
Not really, because I don't think I've hit the wall as far as creating a new thing for people to listen to. But I put everything I have into it. Believe me, it's not like I'm like a falling off a log or anything. I put a lot of thought into everything so it'll sound like they might be real people. Like there's got to be some truth in there somewhere, like an honest delivery and an honest way of acting, so that people will have an affinity. You can't have this broad character that has no point and makes no sense, and it's there for whatever reason and not the right one. And it's all about your choices.
When you do movies, a lot of times you sit alone in a room.
Yeah.
But when you do episodic television, do you have a table read there?
Well, they treated Futurama like a sitcom. And in other words, you had to have a table read, and then 2 days later you'd be recording. You know, and I was doing all these voices. Sometimes I was talking to myself for 6 pages straight, you know, like, man, all this constant exposure to radiation is making me thirsty. Young lady, bring me a sandwich from the dumpster and leave the maggots on it. I was claw-plocking. And she's a beautiful ship, all right. I'm going to fly her brains out. And that was based on a bunch of big dumb announcers that we grew up listening
Yeah,
to.
absolutely.
They loved the sound of their voice more than they loved anything else in the world, and they wouldn't give birth to it. It was like, all right, it's 20 minutes past 7. Nah. You know, like the hamburger helper of words, these elongated. Give birth to it, you idiot. You know, give birth to it. You're not that important. Yes, but I keep my balls in a wheelbarrow. Eh? You know, and I just loved that they were so full of themselves, and that's what Zap Brannigan became.
My favorite character. One of my
Yeah.
favorite
And the
characters.
professor was just a whole amalgam of doddering wizards and mad professors and scientists, you know. And he was shaky because he was 147 years old. So it was like I don't try to physically do anything, but for him I was like, it's good news, everyone. Bad news. And it's like he's really old. I mean, he's got skin stretched around him, and that's about it. He looks like airplane food. You know? He farts dust. You know, he's 147.
This has been less than 5 minutes with somebody really awesome from Sci-Fi Saturday Night.